Hey, it's Cole here from Rosso Coffee Roasters. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Kalita Wave. So the Kalita Wave, this is specifically the 185, and that's referencing the millimeters from top to top here. So this is said to be a 2-cup coffee brewer, and today we're going to brew about 10 ounces of coffee, 300 milliliters. And the nice thing about the Kalita Wave, so you can see there's all these ripples in here, and the way the filter itself works creates this wave shape, so the filter is never actually touching the brewer walls itself. So it's got really great temperature stability, but it's also got this flat bottom on the base, and you can see 3 small holes. So because it's a flat bottom brewer, it's a little bit more forgiving when you're pouring your water in comparison to a V60, where if you pour it all on the filter on the side, you're potentially going to bypass the coffee altogether and slip through to the bottom. So with this one, let's start by wetting our filter as we do with all of our brew methods. So I'm going to take one of these out. I'm just going to make sure it's nicely situated in the Kalita, and using my gooseneck kettle, I'm just going to give it a rinse. So again, the reason we do this is to make sure that all papery taste is removed from these filters. And generally these are bleached, so we want to remove that bleach as well because it'll affect the quality of the coffee we're going to brew. For this demonstration, I'm going to use a beautiful, classic, comfortable coffee. This is the tipping point. So the tipping point right now is a blend of a Costa Rican coffee from Terrazú, from a family that runs a mill called La Casona de Doña Lina, the Solí family. So it's a honey processed catuai. And that's blended in with a Guatemalan coffee from Buena Vista, which is a washed red bourbon. Really nice chocolatey, nutty qualities to this coffee, and a really nice balanced and easy to drink cup profile. Mixes really well with cream too, if that's in your forte. So I'm going to start by weighing out my coffee. And the recipe I'm going to show you here today is the exact same recipe that we use at all of our Rosso Coffee Roasters locations. So I'm going to use 20 grams of coffee, and I'm going to grind it just slightly coarser than a medium grind. It's got a great walnut to the fragrance of this coffee. I'm going to place my decanter on my scale, and I'm going to take the Kalita Wave itself and place that on top of my decanter and just zero my scale. And I'm going to reweigh everything to ensure I got exactly 20 grams of coffee as I called for. So I'll re-zero that, and just like the rest of my brews, I want to level out and flatten the bed before I'm going to pour any water to ensure an even extraction of all the grinds. I've got my water here in this gooseneck kettle, and what I'm going to do is pour 50 grams to soak and saturate to do the bloom here, to allow some offset of gases. Every 20 seconds, I'm going to pour 50 grams of water. I'm going to continue to do this until I reach 350 grams of total brew water. And what this is going to do is create a really level bed in the brewer. Because it's not climbing too high up the walls, all of the grinds will be in contact with the water that is in the extraction, the entirety of the brew method. This will naturally lead to a nice flat bed at the base of the Kalita when we're all said and done. As you're pouring, you can get right up onto the filter and try to get right into where it has that accordion shape to keep all of those grinds down and in contact with the rest of the water that's in the extraction. As I'm pouring, I'm just circling from the middle out to the walls and then back into the middle to ensure even contact of water across the entirety of the bed. I think this is a great brew method to use at a cafe because it's a little more forgiving. If I pour in the wrong spot, everything will still land within the overall brew that I'm creating, where on a V60 or other pour-over devices, that's not necessarily the case. It'll likely bypass the coffee itself. All right, and that's my last pour. So now I'll just let this drain through. This is a great brew method to, if you're a barista working at a cafe, to engage with your client. You have lots of time that you're pouring the coffee itself, so this is a great platform to engage over the counter and discuss maybe pour overs, maybe the coffee you're serving, or the expectations of the final brew. And this particular coffee, as I mentioned, tipping point, has a really nice balance and really classic profile. Lots of chocolatey and nutty flavor tones. Goes great with milk or cream, but it's also great consumed black. That's my personal preference. I'm gonna pour everything into this mug when we're all said and done. So maybe a nice time as it's dripping through just to give it a quick rinse and preheat your mug. I would say an average brew time for a Kalita Wave, you're looking at about 3:30 to about 4:30, depending on your recipe and how coarse or how grind you've set your coffee. I'm gonna just shift that over to this cup. Smells great. Here we go. Just about the perfect amount for this particular cup. It smells nice and rich and chocolatey. Full bodied, full flavored. Wow. It's the classic coffee profile that I knew of growing up. It's not the adventurous or exotic, crazy flavor profile. It's clean, it's balanced, it's chocolatey, it's nutty. It's fantastic.